In today's video, we have a special honor of being on the Celebrity Equinox and sitting down with Chris, the hotel director on board, and we're going to talk a little bit about his role and also the hurricane relief with Hurricane Dorian that Celebrity has been participating in and giving so much help to those in need during the hurricane relief. So Chris, thank you so much for joining us and giving us the opportunity to chat today, learn a little bit about you and what Celebrity is doing in the efforts with the hurricane relief. So tell us briefly where you're from, how long you've been with Celebrity.
I'm from a small island called Cyprus in the Mediterranean. I've been in the cruise industry for almost 27 years now.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
Thank you. 7 with Celebrity. I've been on the Equinox 3 weeks, so it was an opportunity for me to experience the whole situation, which is not very usual in our careers. But yes, we started off, or rather there was a chance that our itinerary would be adjusted because of the Dorian hurricane. So once we managed to get into Miami for our turnaround, we left. The weather was excellent. We carried on while the typhoon was working its way up to Florida. We were going south, so the weather was very nice, so we were quite happy that we avoided the majority of its effect.
Right, the captain was able to keep the guests and crew safe out of harm's way and kind of divert out of the way and alleviate any rough seas and things like that with all of the harsh storms, so that's great to hear.
That's correct, and we were due to be visiting Nassau on the 6th of September, and everything was going ahead with the visit, even though the typhoon hit the rest of the islands, Bahamas Islands. So but on the day before we arrived in Nassau, we were advised that there was a corporate decision to offer a relay of ships supplying the islands that were worst hit with desperately needed provisions and food, meals, daily meals. So at least 6 ships, Royal Caribbean plus ourselves, Celebrity Equinox, we assumed the responsibility of providing 10,000 meals in the afternoon of September 6th.
And how fabulous is that? Such the quick turnaround to make a decision and help. It wasn't like the storm had happened over a week ago. It was the fast action which really helped, and it's super amazing that, sprung into action and made this happen.
Yes, we found out about 24 hours in advance of the change of plans. And actually we were in Tortola at the time. So we decided to provision extra pallets or bottles of water. We received about 15,000 bottles of water from Tortola, plus 4 or 5 pallets of food supplies, tin and dry goods, which together with our provisions, we offloaded at least 15, 20 pallets worth of provisions, as well as the meals that we prepared on board.
Right. Yeah, a lot of work. So I understand that the crew got involved along with some guests if they wanted to get involved in packaging, and what were the guests able to do and help participate on board?
Logistically, we had a few challenges. First of all, we were not sure exactly how the delivery would be made, how many people we needed to send outside in Freeport. So we had quite a few guests volunteering to help on the run-up of arriving.
Yeah.
So we drafted a list of guests who were willing. On the day we had more than 100 guests helping with packaging.
Wow.
One of our challenges was that the actual packaging we did not have on board. So we were waiting to get to Freeport, another oil ship to offload in Freeport for us to bring on board to prepare the meals and then offload them on the same day.
Right.
So it was quite, especially for the galley operation and our chef, it was quite a challenging operation.
Oh, I'm sure.
Once we received the packages, we had an hour or so delay on arrival to find the packages and get them on board. But once we received them, yes, we had like 5 production lines with guests and some crew volunteers. We had some pre-cooked chicken, pork, different cooked items. Obviously we chilled, we did not send out more. with a shelf life for 4 hours. So we were trying to do the packaging, get it off board, and leave enough time for them to be delivered within a safe.
Now, do you know where it was being delivered to? Was it being delivered to a shelter or any type of like community center?
Once we started offloading, there was a coordinator there from local authorities plus Royal Caribbean. And they were taking 100, 200, 300 meals at a time, putting them in different vehicles, small vehicles, buses, whatever they had. And obviously they had their destinations, specific destinations to send them to.
Very good. Well, it's so great to hear like how everyone came together to make this happen. Now, do you know if there's any future efforts to continue to make more meals? Because I'm on the very next sailing. This was just last week that this happened. Now, upcoming, is there any schedule to make more meals or anything like that, or kind of play it by ear at this point?
We haven't been told of any more meals.
Okay.
I think the urgency was the first couple of days, 2 or 3 days, because people had no water, no food.
Yeah.
I think there is some kind of aid infrastructure being built at the moment. I think also Coco Cay, the Royal Caribbean base, which was evacuated. I think now it's manned, so most probably, without knowing, some provisioning is being distributed from there. So, but for the time being, we haven't been asked to prepare anything else.
Yeah, that's probably the most easiest with Coco Cay being right in the Bahamas, that it's not changing any other itineraries, but they can have other small ferries and things like that deliver and pick up right from Coco Cay.
Yes, Coco Cay has its own quite big tender boat, which is what we used also to offload our meals.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure they're using it, as well as some basic facilities to prepare. Or any visiting ships to Coco Cay would I'm sure they're leaving provisions there. So there is follow-up, but I'm not aware exactly what. Our part was mainly on September 6th as part of this chain of provisioning.
Very good. So it's so great to hear how Celebrity and the Royal Caribbean brand has come together to send aid and give so much care to the Bahamas, as it really is an extension of their brand and who they are, and family members who work for the company and everything like that. Have you ever seen this before in such your long tenure of working with cruise lines and these type of scenarios? This isn't the first hurricane to hit, so I'm sure that you've experienced maybe something similar in the past?
Not similar in the sense of people being in such a desperate need, but obviously with in the cruise industries being all over the world, typhoons and hurricanes, they're quite a usual occurrence this time of year. We did on the Millennium last year, I think last October, we had 2 typhoons, one after the other, which caused us to miss about 9 ports and miss our turnaround day, and which was a lot of disruption for the guests. But what amazes me every time in this situation is how the crew react. They always fall into place. You never hear any doubts, any why, and everyone just does their bit, which makes
take on the responsibility and take care of the guests. That's so great to hear. They're up for the challenge in a sense.
We had a lot of volunteers, as well as the crew who were on duty that we used for the exercise. We had about 100 crew members who volunteered to help, who were not actually on duty. So that's always, as a hotel director, or as in the cruise industry, I always feel very
proud of your team, right?
Of my team. That they respond in this way, and they make it work good.
For sure, yeah. From either's perspective of being a guest or crew, just knowing that humanity has its back for each other and coming to support when it's needed
everyone has a story to say. A lot of our crews are from Philippines, Indonesia. They suffer from their own disasters, especially the Philippines. I think it was last year when they had a similar incident.
They understand.
So they understand, and they are very quick to react and offer their help.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, I think that is so incredible to hear. Thank you for sharing the story of how specifically the Celebrity Equinox was involved in providing relief for Hurricane Dorian along with the Royal Caribbean brand. I appreciate your time this afternoon chatting with us, Chris. Thank you so much. I can't wait to share it with everyone, and discussing the hurricane relief is very important, and Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, ciao for now.